Hello there, and welcome back to another monthly webinar with your one and only Kenny Simpson with the Simpson team. As you can see, this is the April. So what we're doing is we're always looking backwards in our rear view mirror. So this will be March, February kind of data, maybe some April stuff leaked in there. But thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. I do this monthly webinar monthly, sometimes at the end of the month or the beginning of the following month. So this one is falling into the beginning of May. And then May will be at the end of May or beginning of June. So the year is flying by. It's crazy. We're in spring, summer, even though here in San Diego, it doesn't feel that way because, boy, this winter just drags on. Our sunshine tax, I think we need a refund anyways. So if you guys are living here, it's been a long, long winter, especially on the West Coast over here. A lot of snow, a lot of rain, a lot of cold mornings, a lot of lack of sun, a lot of clouds. And so, but what else is there a lack of? Inventory. So depending on where you are in the country, some places have no inventory, some places have more than others, but that is the housing crisis. Many people predicted inventory would be sky high, foreclosures, short sales, all that stuff. Interest rates would be 10%. And so obviously we always have predictions. You never know what's going to happen, right? But at the end of the day, that's why we like to do this monthly webinar to look at the data. This is more a national view, like 30,000 foot view of what's going on out there. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Let's get started. Thanks for your time. Today's agenda is always like usual. We're going to jump into rates, to inventory, to sales, to is housing going up or down, and then hot topic of what's going on out there, and what's going on in the market. How to reach me. If you guys don't know about me, again, my name is Kenny Simpson. I'm with the Simpson team at C2 Financial, mortgage broker by choice. Been doing it 20 years. You've got my contact here, phone, email. You can find me online, DM me, email me, text me, come by my office, whatever is best for you. But we're always here to help you guys educate and answer any questions we can. I focus on 1 to 4 unit financing. All right, so let's jump into it. Before we jump into this quote, as I shoot this video, another major, sad, depressing bank failure, First Republic Bank. Did not make it. Full disclosure, I actually banked there. I actually think they're a well-run bank. I might be wrong. I think they lended conservatively because I knew them. They didn't go crazy high in LTVs and stuff like that. So I think they were, caught up in a bad thing. I think that I say it's like a drive-by shooting there, happened to be next to the people that, the bystanders, and they got wrapped up in this whole mess. And because of that, deposits left their bank. People say it wasn't a run well bank, but I feel like they're attached to SVB. They're up there at Silicon Valley. They banked a lot of startups, but and yeah, they didn't make it. So Chase is taking them over. It's really sad. They were a great regional bank here in California. They helped a lot of clients that were real estate investors. They helped a lot of clients that had businesses. They helped them with loans. They helped them with investment property loans. A lot of people put their money in there, so they really helped a lot of people. So to see this bank not make it and come through, and another big blow for California for the real estate, it's not good. These big banks, I will tell you this. I would tell they already know this. They do not lend like the small banks. Too much red tape, too much headache. They're not quick enough. They're not nimble. I would honestly say, I'm not going to say they don't support small businesses, but they do not support 100% small businesses in the way these small banks do, because they can't. They're not set up for that. So when we lose these big banks and these small banks to big banks, it's not good, especially for somebody who's been in the lending business. My wife does commercial financing for 20 years. Just not good. It's not helpful. And anyways, let's move on. But I saw this quote I thought I'd share. So turbulence in the financial markets is putting significant downward pressure on rates, which should benefit borrowers in the short term. Yes, it has. The rate king has been a little like this. It's up and down. Look, we came from the high of 7.5. Then we've come down to the 6s here. And keep in mind, we're lucky. Yes, lucky. I'm a loan officer telling you we are lucky that interest rates are this high. If they were lower and we did have this lack of inventory, yeah, we'd have a refi boom, but boy, we'd have a major problem with the this inventory and people overpaying and prices going back up. But interest rates are going to eventually go down. Is inventory going to go up? That is the million, trillion, gazillion dollar question. I guess why I say why it's, why it's trillion is values across the nation could increase another trillion up if those rates go low because of inventory. Mortgage rate. However, this rate drop was enough to make home buying affordable again for many Americans. That is true. When you go from 7.5 to low sixes, of course, think about it. Your payment could be reduced by 500, 800, 1,000, depending on your loan amount. So thousands, jumbo. So it absolutely helps people qualify, helps people get in, makes more sense. But look, Q4 of last year, prices were declining. Q1, little declining. Then we started, and then the middle of Q1 started to see stabilization. Now we're seeing people overpay for houses because there's not enough. Here in San Diego, we're looking 7 to 30 offers per house. So wild out there. So here it is. As you guys can imagine, everybody's kind of like, what's the breaking point for buyer demand and when we'll see crazy buyer demand? Well, at 7.5, it's weak. You go down to 6.5 to 7, it's limited. Right now, we're in that good spot to strong, a little bit in the strong. But look, strong is 5.5 to 6. What happens when it goes 5 to 5.5? It's going to be crazy. I don't know what's down there, but I'm going to use the word crazy, out of control. So that's what we're going to see if we do not see inventory. But look, rates are going to head there. It's inflation, everything. I know it's taken a long time to come down. It's slower than we all thought, but it is coming down. It's just slower than we thought. Mortgage rate predictions. These are, whatever you want to make them. I think these, they change all the time. Every month, quarter, they're giving their change. But basically, Q2 is 6.6. Sorry, I got the end of that. Okay, so mortgage rate projections. April 2023, Q2 6.6, 6.1, 6.3. This is the predictions. I think by the end of the year, MBA will nail on the head 5.1. I think we'll see something like that unless something crazy happens, which would be crazy. Refi booms, which would put FHA, VA in the 4s, refi booms, buyers off the sideline, more affordability. Hopefully we have inventory. I'm not sure if that 5% rate is going to get you to move from your 3.5, your 2.5. But the problem with those people that have 2.5, 3.5, or 2.875 or 2.125 or all these crazy rates is they're all talking about how do I keep my house and rent it? That's inventory. It's not going to hit the market. Will we see affordability improve this year? I believe we will. Each downward tick in the mortgage rate is met with increased buyer demand. We've seen that, right? January, boom, buyer demand, rates up, boom. Buyer demand again here in March. Rates are still good. Rates are still not good. They're better than they were 7.5. It's relative to what they're good is. What I'm saying is that they're still remaining kind of flat. The 10 years around 3.5. So increase the buyer demand as many eager home shoppers take advantage of the slightly lower cost of financing, but they're also taking advantage of a lack of inventory, which is an advantage. It's a disadvantage. Monthly mortgage payments. This is an interesting chart. Obviously, rates were super low, and then they peaked October 2022, right? There we go. And then we've slowly come down. But still, you can clearly see when rates were low, how further we off. Great chart. Median household income versus qualifying income. This stuff really doesn't matter at the end of the day. This is just cool to look at data. If you're just curious about data, if you're like me, a data nerd, and you want to know what's going on out there and what everybody looks at, economist. But here you go. What is the one thing that could stand in the way of your success this spring? I'd say it's mindset. Mindset, literally, like when I tell people you're going to buy your investment property, the first thing you should start with, which nobody ever understands, is a change in your mindset. When you're looking to buy a house, going from renting to buying, it is a shift in mindset. Why is that? You're tired of renting. You're not getting tax benefit. You got engaged. You're getting married. You're having a kid. You want your own place. You want to, you want to buy it for you. You want a house hack. You have a shift in your life, but it's a shift in mindset to go from renter to buyer to shift, to go from owning a primary to buying investment properties as a shift, to owning one investment to buying 10 as a shift. It's all a mindset shift, and it's us getting used to it. So many people focus on, I'm going to wait for the rates to come down. I'm going to wait to see if housing crashes. I'm going to wait for a recession. I'm going to wait for this, all these things. But here's the problem. If you wait for the 5% and you believe that, cool, wait, don't you think that if I showed you this chart back here, let's go backwards. Let's just go backwards right here. This chart, don't you think at 5%, you're going to get a lot more buyers than you are now? You're just going to see the competition. So it's clearly something that we have to get over. So when you're looking to buy a house or investment property to do anything, right, it has to make sense for you. You have to be confident. You have to be comfortable. But if you're waiting for this magical thing to happen, most of the time that comes with problems. So if you're waiting for rates to come down at 5%, which I completely get it, you're like, hey, Kenny, I want more affordable. And you're maybe hoping that rates come down at 5 and there's more inventory and you're going to have more selection, which I'm not going to agree or disagree. Let's say that's your thought. But what if we don't get the inventory? So you wait for 5 and it never comes. And now you're overpaying for the house, because you will. The house at 750 now, when rates are 5 or high 4s, a place like San Diego, if we do not get the inventory, which we're not projected to because we don't understand how, you will be looking at 800 to 850, hands down. How do I know that? Because we've seen this time and time again. Because the buyer demand at 5% compared to we're in the 6s right now is going to be astronomical, because payment and subconscious mindset of people. So most people would rather, we've already saw this in 2021, 22, they would rather get a 3% rate and overpay for a house than get a 6% rate and underpay by 100, 200,000 and then refi the rates are low. So my thing is, when the rates are at 5, you want to refi. When the rates are at 5, you don't want to buy. I'm kind of joking, but remember I say this because when you wait, you will deal with a line and a lot of people that are just going to be, cruise along here. So let's move on. Home sales. How are we looking? I'm guessing they're down. What do you guys guess? What do you think? Do you think home sales are down year over year? Let's say 30%. Let's see. What do we got? Average days in the market, 34. Why is it 34? Why not lower? Anybody guess? It's not the first-time home buyers. The high-end market stuff is sitting longer. That's why you're pulling your average up. It's not the entry-level stuff. It's the multi-millions to obviously 10, 20, 30 plus million in certain places that's sitting. A lot of people don't want to buy 20, 30, $40 million houses right now. Money's not cheap. They might be losing in the stock market, whatever it is. But anyways, that's the, that's what's bringing the averages up. Existing home sales. I said 30. West Coast, we're at 28. Well, I was talking about West Coast. No, but anyways, you're at 22.6. Look at this. The West Coast is seeing the most decline in sales. That is not values, my friends. That is a lack of sales of properties. Existing home sales. Look at 2021, 2022, and 2023. Remember, we thought 21 was low, 22 was low, but look at this. It is really, really low. It's not good. New home sales, same thing. They're down. Look, is it rates? Is it inventory? It's a combination. New home sales presented by distribution range. This is always love looking at this chart. So you can see, so you can clearly see here what level. Do you see over 11%? So this is where over this, like way over this, is where you're causing inventory to sit on the market longer. But 500 to 749 is the sweet spot, apparently. New home sales. That means they're building that kind of product. They're not building entry-level homes. If you look at this, they're not building the entry level. They're building more of this is where they have to make their money. New homes selling fast. Are they selling fast? Pretty fast. When you go back here, 19, 23, I mean, they're moving. There's not much inventory. I'm sure some states are different in some subdivisions, but especially a place like San Diego, I'm sure. Total home sales, we're still way down. Look at this. We're way down. We're not even close. It's not really looking good. We're just not getting the inventory, especially here in San Diego. We start the year lower and we go higher. We started the year higher and we're going lower. We're barely over 2,000 listings for a population of 3 million. I don't even know what we are for California, but it's, you have 40 million people here. I think there's probably 45,000 listings. It's not good at all. Pending home sales, West Coast is down 21. So percentage change in sales. Holy smokes. Look at this. Over 1 million, 28%, obviously. So percentage of distressed properties for sale. That's what I mentioned before. People waiting for rates to go to 10%. Everybody's going to lose their job. The economy is going to fall apart. Not that I'm saying all that stuff cannot happen. They said it would happen now. A lot of people predicted right now in 2023, we were going to feel this. I thought we'd have more pain and unemployment. I thought the consumer would be pulling back. I did not realize how much actual money people have. And I don't know where they got it from. I don't know where you guys are getting this from. You're racking up the credit card. You did the cash out refi. You're just getting money, all the money from the government. You're not paying your bills. I don't know what it is, but there's a lot of people still spending money. They're going, yes, it's slowing down, but not fast enough. But a lot of people did predict we'd have mass foreclosures and mass short sales. I've told you guys a million times on these videos why I don't think that's going to happen. But the short answer is I think the banks are more into, instead of just a bunch of foreclosures and short sales, that's not their business. They would rather just focus on working it out with you, kicking the can down the road. Because sometimes, look, things happen. You lose your job. Something happens to your business. There's a death. There's, medical condition. People can't make payments, right? So instead of just, losing, sometimes like, can we work it out? Can we push it to the back of loan? Can we give you forbearance? Can we help you out? It's easier for the banks. It's better for the consumer, and they're not ruining your credit. So I'm not suggesting they're going to do that with everybody, because there is more foreclosure and short sales, even though it's not even close to where we were. And keep in mind, this is 2012. 2009 is like 50, 60%. So they are going to come. This is, kind of more of a coming up to a healthy level, but you have to have foreclosure and short sales because we're not going to bail everybody out. Some people do play the game. Some people hide and they eventually foreclose and short sales. The other thing is a lot of people don't need to foreclose or short sale. Why? Because they have equity and they can sell. Home prices. What's happening with home prices? My guess is a little bit declined to flat. What do you guys think? U.S. home prices could fall as much as 20% next year. There are 210 U.S. housing markets at the risk of 15 to 20%. U.S. home prices could plunge 20%, Dallas Fed warns. What do we got? Neuroscientists have found that people spend about 90% of their lives using the what's called narrative rather than direct experience. In other words, we spend 90% of our lives telling ourselves what is happening. I tend to believe that's true. And that's why when I release stuff and it's great information, nobody shares it. But when I release drama, you guys all share it, because people love drama. They don't love the basic, boring learning stuff. They love the drama, because drama's fun and boring is boring. But boring is how you make money and learn. So I don't know. I like the boring. Home appreciation. Miami, shocker, is on top. San Diego, we're a little low, a little flat. Phoenix is flat. San Francisco down, Seattle down. I think a lot of this is tech moving out, or just a lot of problems in the city. San Diego, I'm not surprised. This is probably more on the higher end. But look, it's pretty crazy overall. Looking pretty good. And this is right at the end of March there. So declines in the West are due to the tech industry. What did I say? Just guessing, but it's not a rocket scientist to predict that. Slowdown and a severe lack of affordability after decades of undersupply. Tech people are moving out. People are working from home. San Francisco is a mess. People are still living there. Office is at 30, 40% vacancy. Just a lot of stuff going on. Year over year appreciation. So this is year over year. You guys understand that? So last year to this year, this is the national rate of appreciation is 5.3. Pretty crazy. But when you go back to this chart here, let's go back. You see a lot of green. So the Pacific is pretty dead. So home price movement. Let's see. San Diego. Nope. The top 26. So you're getting a lot more red. Let's go back to this chart again. Home prices year over year. Remember I said that. So that's why we got the 5.48, whatever. We got, sorry, the 5.3. And this is month over month from January to February. Miami, Atlanta, Boston. Wow, Boston, you guys. It's pretty flat, guys. It's almost flat for the nation. So where are these 20% declines? Are they coming? I don't know, but it's pretty flat. Month over month, a change in price by region, Pacific. Look, New England. Wow, look at you guys. So you guys can clearly see it's pretty flat across the board. Have home values decline stabilized. It's not much. It's pretty minimal. So I thought we'd see more decline just because we went up, but there's no inventory. If there's a lot of inventory, it'd be a different market. We'd be talking differently. We'd be looking at different data. There's just no inventory. People do not want to sell or move. A lot of it's they're locked in on rates. A lot of it people don't want to move. Remember, people are staying in their houses instead of 5-7 years. They're staying 13, 14 years, especially the pandemic. There's a lot of factors. All-in home prices nationally are now down 2.6 from their peak of 2022. That is nothing, guys. Nothing. Moody's Analytics repeats sales of HPI are down 2% from their peak of July. Freddie Mac reported that its national home price index, by the way, home price index are down 2%. Freddie Mac reported home is down 2.5 from his peak. How much have prices fallen from the peak? Moody's, Freddie, Black Knight. Do you guys believe this? This is where I'm wondering at debate, where do they get this data from? Because it's not that I disagree, but are they looking like kind of more of an average thing? Because, you know, some people did go in neighborhoods and way overpay for houses, but you and I knew that was never the value of the house. So if the house was listed at $1 million, it was worth $1 million. Somebody came in and paid 1.2. That house is never worth 1.2. It's worth $1 million. They just overpaid. So are we looking for the $1 million or 1.2? Because obviously the 1.2 now could be down to $1 million. Did I just lose you guys? My point is I don't know where this comes from, but I think what the true values of properties were, not the overpaid price, this is what they're talking about, and this is where the values decline. We're not talking where somebody way overpaid and they're like lost their ass. That was an emotional decision, but you know where I'm going. Sales price of existing home, U.S. is pretty flat. West is, you know, going up there. Change in home prices. Year over year, change in price. Forecasted current. Housing inventory. Here we go. Here is the problem. Here's the big one. Okay. So blue, if you guys didn't know, is good. And orange and red and things like that are, you know, orange are not good. Sorry. Dark orange, light blue. So this is a little bit more inventory, but as you can see, let's see, who has the worst? Arizona. Wow. Cali, Wyoming, Michigan, Maine. So Oregon got a little bit, Colorado a little bit, South Dakota a little bit, Minnesota a little bit. So national average, we're down. Not good. Months of inventories for sale. It looks pretty bad. I think here in San Diego, we're about 1 month or so, but not enough. Months of inventories, homes for sale. That was 2011 to today. So this is where we were. We had a lot more inventory. And this is the last 12 months. So 2.6, that's national. It's not good. We should be around 6 months. If you go here, let me just go back here. 5.5 months. I'm going to draw the line. We're a little bit low. See, we've been low for inventory for a while. We've been more sitting here at 4.5 to 5. So historically, new home monthly inventory, the lighter. Oh, that's good. Non-seasonal adjusted. Buyer demand. Buyer activity continues to normalize. The West, wow, down 50%. This is really has to do with rates, affordability. And also, you got to remember too, there are people looking, but there's just no inventory, so they can't find anything. So if there's more inventory, you'd have more buyers, right? Easy. There's not enough. Mortgage rates, where are they going? We're somewhere around 6.1-ish. Okay, we're going to go to 5.1. Do I agree with this? Kind of. I feel like this will happen. Could we get there faster? Sure. It just depends on recession, jobs, consumer spending, all that. Mortgage credit, always we show this. This is where we were last time. Lending standards are under control. We've improved our lending standards, which is good. We make better loans. Hot topic. My hot topic is ADU financing. I get a lot of these scenarios here in San Diego. A lot of investors here in San Diego, especially California. We rezoned a lot of the properties. And so you could have a house, a 2-unit, 4-unit, garages. You could build. So you can build an ADU, 4 ADUs, 6 ADUs, 1 ADU with a junior ADU, all these ADUs. But the problem is Fannie and Freddie have some guidelines. I put out a blog on Monday. If you're watching this somehow and you get this and you're not getting my emails, email me, reach out to me so I can get you on my email feed. But ADU financing is challenging. Finally, Fannie Mae is okay with a single family and an ADU. And then Freddie Mac is okay with a 1 to 3 unit plus an ADU. But that's it. So some people are doing a single, taking a 4-unit, making a 6-unit becomes commercial. So this is kind of the black sheep, the redheaded stepchild. It's not getting a lot of, it gets just a lot of negativity around it. I don't know why, but I think it's ridiculous. I think that we just need more comps. We need understandable. So I think in a couple of years from now, it'll be a lot less of a problem. And that means we should be able to have a lot more opportunities of financing, but now it is limited. It's sometimes to get a single family with an ADU, junior ADU, it's very hard to find a place for that. We do have a place for it, but it's not easy. So if you are watching this and you're having problems with, getting your takeout financing for this, or you're going to sell a property and you think it's going to be easy to get financing, it's not. You should definitely reach out to me or somebody that understands this, because you're going to want to work with a lender that can form. I'm working with sellers because buyers cannot get financing. I'm coming in saving the day. It's not easy, but there are options. You got to know where to go. You got to know how to get the appraisal done. You got to know how to talk to the lender, the underwriter. You got to know what people are looking for. So you got to know, can we use the rent? Can we not use the rent? There's a lot of factors. I'll leave it at that. But if I can help you, reach out. Otherwise, how to reach me? Again, there's my beautiful family. Thank you for watching. I always appreciate the time. Until next month, we will keep watching rates, inventory, sales. What do I think is going to happen? I think we're going to get another quarter Fed hike. I think we're going to see rates slowly keep coming down, but it might be like this. Inventory maybe will start picking up, but I tell you, in a month from now, if we don't get a lot more inventory, it's going to be the worst inventory for here in San Diego for spring, summer. We're usually, I think in June, we're around 5,500 listings, which is still terrible for summer. And we're not even at 3,000 now. We're not even at 2,500. So until next time, thanks for watching. Please share. Love to hear your feedback. See you guys soon.